Lord have mercy. I want to thank everybody for being here today. This is great. Phil, I want to thank you for springing this speaking engagement on me. It's been interesting. This is the first time I won anything, and I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? But I won the table over there. That was interesting. For a long time, I got. Let me start with my clean day. My clean date is 5/12/92. So I've been here about 33 years. And it's so grateful that I'm here today. I feel lucky, to be able to be here today. We came up here, not expecting anything, but things went well, as they did yesterday. And hopefully as they will tomorrow, things continue to go well for me, as I move on, and I can see what things is going well for me by the way that things happen for me, I came up in the Keys Rocks. Many of y'all know where that's at, you know what I'm saying? And well, that kind of, when I look at it, that kind of shifted me backwards a little bit, because I didn't realize that no one else was from the Keys Rocks. When I thought about my using and how I become able to continue to use, I realized that the Keys Rocks was a special place. That was some place that was not like the north side. It wasn't like the east side. It wasn't like the south side. It was a small place, But still in all, I was able to get in there and get that drug, And no matter what I did, my using was only like 3 years. I took off, and I guess it was. I was 35, so it had to have been 3 years before that. But what it was, the crack took me to another place. Because I had always, I was always the type of guy I would use a little bit. I smoke weed, every now and again. You know what I'm saying? I would do this every now and again, or do that every now and again. But I wasn't hooked on nothing. I was never call myself being hooked on anything, because I was always the associative type. I'd go to the Hill, I'd get into the clubs and, mess with the girls, and, that was my thing, you know what I'm saying? And most of the time, that would be enough for me, until one day, it was my brother-in-law who actually gave it to me. He said, yeah, well, try this out. You know what I'm saying? And I tried it out, and it wasn't no good. It didn't work for me at all. So I said, no, this ain't me. This ain't the type of shit I want. Until 2 weeks later, he said, hey, you need to try this again. See what I'm saying? And once I did it, it was done. See what I'm saying? I mean, I was hooked in such a way to whereas nothing could compare to that. I stopped smoking weed, you know what I'm saying? Because I did weed, I did pills, I did all of that shit. I stopped all of that, you know what I'm saying? Because that coke had become so prevalent. It become so endearing for me, you know what I'm saying? That I couldn't do anything but get to that, And it was only 2 days. I only tried it like twice, But that shit had me so hooked up, it wasn't even funny, And so now I got this habit, an instant habit. So now I'm figuring out, how do I deal with it? I know it's a habit, because I've seen other people have the same type of habit. I don't want that habit. You know what I'm saying? I knew right from the door I didn't want that, But I would go on and continue on moving forward and trying not to grasp it, trying not to keep a hold to it. So I was working asbestos at the time. And we would go from D.C., Clarendon, all over the place. We'd go to different places, and I'd be like, okay, well, I could do this, and that will keep me from the drugs. No matter where I went, I was in D.C., I was in wherever I went, the shit was right there. It was right there in front of you. We went up into D.C. and shit. We're riding down the street. And I seen a guy. I said, there go my crack right there. This is a guy that I didn't know or none of that affiliation with, but I knew him because of the way he was acting. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way he walked, because of the way he talked. I knew that was it. That was a hell of a drug, I'm telling you. So that cocaine kept me going for so long. So I'm saying, and I had to get it in. And when I did, the feeling was so intense, I couldn't wait to get another hit, So it really didn't matter how much I had to get more. You know what I'm saying? It really didn't matter how good it was, I had to get some more shit, And what had happened eventually was, after going to all of these different states, no matter where I went to, I always found it. You know what I'm saying? And I did this for 3 years, and I kept my job, fortunately. You know what I'm saying? But I was always able to find this drug, And this drug kept me going, until I started looking at other people. And I'm saying, why is the drug doing you like that? And why is the drug doing you like that? And what's wrong with me? Why I can't do this? Why I can't do that? And I knew it was time. It was early on. I couldn't have done it but a year, and I knew I had to quit. You know what I'm saying? But by this time, I was so caught up in it, I didn't know how to quit. You know what I'm saying? I had no clue, But I kept going. I'm thinking that if I go out far enough, if I go out long enough, that this shit will drop off of me somehow. Well, it never did. It never did. And as I went on in my recovery, as I went on in my addiction, and I realized that was not going to be happening for me. Eventually, I lost the job because of the coke. You know what I'm saying? And that was a good-ass job, too. I was making quite some money. You know what I'm saying? But I lost the job because of the coke. And I said coke, but I need to say that back then, that was real coke. You know what I'm saying? it ain't nothing like what's happening today. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like that fentanyl shit that they got going on today. That was some good coke. I'm gonna put it right there, you know what I'm saying? And I used it, and it kept me going, you know what I'm saying? That was it, But I knew that I could not continue on with that, And eventually, when I got back, and the person that I was working for eventually looked at me and said, "What's wrong? What's going on with you?" Because he was a nice guy. He said, "Well, what's going on with you? Why you cannot continue to work the way that you have been working?" So I just told him, I'm cracked out. I went to a lot of different places, whereas people would be there and offer me stuff. We drove a big white van. I'm in D.C. trying to get around. And I'm a black guy in a big white van in D.C. What the kind of shit is that? See what I'm saying? So the police rolled up on me eventually. See what I'm saying? And I went to jail, but I got out. And I'm still thinking, what's wrong with me? How come I can't continue to flow the way I usually flow? Because I was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I was collected, cool. I was interesting. I was all of that. Till that crack. You know what I'm saying? That changed everything. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I had to get away from that. And so what I did was I came out, I told the guy, and he said, "Okay, well, being as though you told me, I appreciate that, but you got to go." See what I'm saying? Basically. So I went on ahead and I went out and I continued to try to do something. You know what I'm saying? Something that would draw me to that crack, something that would draw me to the money so that I could get that crack. And none of that was working. You know, of course none of that was working because it was crack. You know what I'm saying? So I had to keep going. And eventually, what I did was, it got to be so bad that I had messed around and went to a hospital. I went to Braddock Hospital. You know, and I asked them, "What can I do to quit this?" You know, and they said, you know, just calm yourself down. You know, they kept me for 4 or 5 days. They said, just don't use. You know, just try to remedy yourself. You know, so I did that. You know, and 2 weeks later, I'm still out there smoking. You know what I'm saying? Down in Braddock, and I'm still doing it, trying to get out from underneath that shit. I'm hearing what they told me. You know, it's over here somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But this crack is right here. You see? So what I kept doing that. And eventually I seen that was not working. So I went to another place. I went to a rehab called, it's been so long ago, I forgot the name of the place, you know. But I went to another rehab and they took me in, you know, for 30 days. It's supposed to be a 30-day program, you know. I'm going to go down to the program. I'm not really sure if it's going to work or not, you know. So I'll stop off at the state store, give me a fifth of gin, you know what I'm saying, just in case it don't work. See, I'll be having it, you know, I'll be in, you know. So I get there and I'm all drunk and shit. So what they did was they put me in a detox, you know, which was totally something different. Totally. If any newcomers is in there, you don't want to go to no detox. See what I'm saying? But when I went there, they gave me these pills to keep me away from the drinking. That's what they were focused on, the drinking. You know, I didn't realize I had a drinking problem. You know, but whatever it was that they gave me, I'm telling you, that was some strong shit. You see, because there was like 3 or 4 steps that you had to go down to get to the dinner hall. See what I'm saying? I could not negotiate these steps. See what I'm saying? No matter what I tried to do, these steps were not for me. You know, and everything else was psychological. You know, it was all up in my head, and I knew there was something wrong going on. You know, and that was it for me. You know, for the first 5 days, I knew that was it. I told them I didn't want no more of them pills. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no more of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That I tried to do it on my own. You know, and after that, the rehab was interesting. You know, I went up to the rehab and I would tell them at the meeting that I was sick, that I needed some encouragement, that I needed some help. This is basically sympathy shit I was looking for. You know, wasn't none of that shit working. You know, until eventually one day I went in the room and I had asked God to please remove the drug. Remove the thought of the drug. Remove it so that I would not be able to think about it, so that I could not use it. You know, and that was the anxiety that I had gotten from the drug. And after that, God removed it. And I'm serious. God removed whatever was going on with me, whatever was happening at the time, he removed it. You know, they said at the meeting that you wouldn't have to use again. You know, I couldn't conceive that. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what you don't have to use again. I don't know what that means, you know, but I was acceptance. I was accepting what they were telling me, you know, And God had placed in my heart the will to continue on. Because at that point I was done, you know. So what I did was I kept moving, and I had asked God to remove this impulsion, this craving, this crazy thing that just kept me going toward the crack. And I asked him to remove that, and he did, you know. And after that, I'm gonna say it was just learning, you know. I would go to the meetings. There'd be 20, 30 people in a circle sitting down in a round circle, and they would say, "Did anyone feel like using?" You know, and a few people raised their hands and up and down and all of that, but I didn't, you know. And then they said, "Look at the person next to you." And they said, "Look at the person on the other side of you. One of y'all are not going to make it." I just told them, I feel for you, but I'm going to make it. You know, I told both of them, you know, I feel for both of y'all, but I'm going to make it. See what I'm saying? And to this day, I don't know what happened to all the rest of the guys. I see some of them around, see what I'm saying? Some of them had the same idea that I had, you know, but a lot of the guys, I see them back on the street. You know what I'm saying? I see them I live in Homewood, so I see them going down the street, you know what I'm saying, on Rosedale and all these different crack places that I used to visit. You know what I'm saying? I see these people there, you know. But I said that no matter what, I'm going to make it, you know. And I thank God for giving me the ability to be able to move forward and be able to sustain myself so that I could get up and say, "Gerald, I'm clean just for the day." You know, I understand what that 24 hours is about. I understand when they say just for the day. I understand what that's about. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday's gone. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you have is today. You know, so I understand what that's about. And when they say just for the day, that makes it so simple for me. Because I ain't got to worry about 3 months from now. You know, 5 years from now. All I got to worry about is today. See? And that in itself is so much, it's clear to me. You know what I'm saying? It's clear that just for the day is what you got. You know, I moved on from there, and I've had lots of experiences in the 33 years that I've been here. And it's been great, I'm telling you. I mean, I've almost got as much time clean as I do alive, you know. And that is so, I mean, listen, my daughter moved in with me, you know, from a long way back, you know. And she fills my life now. See what I'm saying? My daughter, you know, and my son. You know, my son lives in Norfolk Hills. You know, he has his own wife and 2 daughters, you know. But all of that, you know what I'm saying? I have 6 kids, and they're all great. You know what I'm saying? Because they all look at me and they know what I've been through. They know what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And they know that in any case that I am beyond what they thought was possible. So I bring them. I used to take them to the dances and shit with me when I was coming through. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, my son was only 2. You know what I'm saying? He's 26 now. See what I'm saying? You know, so that's a great. I mean, the experience in itself is so gratifying. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot that was going on in my life back then. You know, there's a lot that I had gone through. You know, I went through jobs. I went through a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Where I finally found that because of my wreckage of my past, I wasn't able to get a job. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to do shit because I spent a lot of time in jail. I spent a lot of time chasing after women and chasing this and chasing that, you know. But what had happened was, you know, my dad had taught me early on about carpentry. You know, I wasn't with my dad a whole lot, but I learned something. You know, if you nail a nail, you know what I'm saying, that's one nail in, and you can move it on from there. You know, so what I did was I kept that going. I always had that in my mind. You know, if I ever wanted to do something, I wanted to get some houses. You know what I'm saying? And after 35 years, that's what I did. I went on ahead down the county, and I got one house for $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Started working on that one. Bought another house for $1,000. Started working on that one, and then I moved on. You know, so right now I got 12 houses, and I just sold about 4 or 5. See, right now my life is good. See what I'm saying? Because I have my own house that I have established. You know, my wife and I, we are both living in that one dwelling. You know, all the kids come over. You had that grandma's house where everybody comes over for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? That's my house now. See what I'm saying? You know, everybody comes over for Thanksgiving, and everybody comes over for Christmas. You know, whatever functions it is, because I got the big house. You know, and as I look on it, and I think about my grandmother and how we used to go to her house, I think that I am so grateful. You know what I'm saying, for putting that drug down. You know what I'm saying? And main thing was that I had learned so much in NA. You know what I'm saying? I learned so much in terms of personalities and dealing with other people, you know what I'm saying, and associating with other people, you know what I'm saying, that took a lot of my fears away, you know. I mean, even now today, I'm thankful for the people that's here, and I'm glad that other people is gone. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I'm not a real sharing person, but I want to let y'all know that this is the shit. You know what I'm saying? This is it. You know, whatever God wants me to do, whatever He asks me to do, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Phil asked me if he was right there. He asked me and Bob, you know what I'm saying, which one of y'all want to share? You know what I'm saying? I'm pointing at him, he pointed at me. You know what I'm saying? that type of shit. But you know what? When it comes down to it, you know what I'm saying, NA has done so much for me. You know what I'm saying? That I had to share. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wouldn't really matter if there was 10 people here or 1,000 people here. You know, I'm going to give it my best, either way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Because God has given His best for me. You know what I'm saying? He has given me so much, you know what I'm saying, that, whew, I'm telling you, it is gratifying that I'm able to be here today. You know, plus I won some shit, you know what I'm saying? So all of that's good, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm really grateful that God gave me the opportunity to come back here and share with y'all, you know, because it's been a wonderful time, you know. I've definitely had a wonderful time, you know. There's a lot going on in my life, you know what I'm saying, in terms of growth, you know what I'm saying. I've grown so much, you know what I'm saying, because what I was doing when I was out there was shit like, you know, I was stealing and I was robbing people and all kind of shit, but it would never turn back around the way I wanted it to, you know. And so when I started this here, and I started on that first house, and I started working on it, and eventually, you know, Home Depot used to be my joints. You know, I used to tear their asses up. You know what I'm saying? But now I don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have the encouragement to go in there and steal some shit, because I got a pocket full of money. You know, I'd have a pocket full of money, go in there and steal some shit anyway. You know? But that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, I don't care how Home Depot raises their prices for whatever it is, I'm going to get mine. See, I don't have to do that because they did it. See, I'm going to keep this real simple. I don't have to indulge myself in that stealing shit because they raised the price from drywall to $18 when it was only $2 when I started. $2. See what I'm saying? And that ain't really been that long ago. See what I'm saying? They done went to $18. See what I'm saying? I'm thinking that it's a process somehow, but I got to get with it. So I got with it. And no matter how much they charge, you know what I'm saying? I just charge the next guy in the rent. You know what I'm saying? And I get mine. You know, and no matter how bad it seems, you know, I'm gonna always get mine. You know, because God's gonna make a way for me to do that. You know, and he keeps tricking me. You know what I'm saying? He said, if you do this, you know what I'm saying? I used to cheat on my woman. You know what I'm saying? And it was because of that we are so close now. You know, when I say cheat on my woman, I used to go in the band and get me some head and had a girl smoke. You know what I'm saying? She smoke out the window and I'd be like doing this here, trying to keep the shit away from me. You know what I'm saying? And like that. But that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? I would think about how things was going and how do I make my marriage better so that I wouldn't even have to be here. You know what I'm saying? How can I make my marriage better? It was, oh man. I went to a pool about 3 weeks ago because things wasn't going too swell, you know? And I'm trying to think of what to do. So I went to a hotel by myself, you know, and I sat in this hotel room. And I went in the swimming pool, and I'm in the pool, and I'm thinking, you know, there's lots of women around here. You know what I'm saying? Lots of them, but I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on me, you know. And the more I thought about it, you know, I'm trying to stay focused on what's happening here today. You know, I want to be sightful of what's going on. You know, if any of y'all understand what I'm saying, I'll go to a hotel by myself, go into the swimming pool, focus on me, no matter what's going around. I knew something was up because I was the only one in the pool. See what I'm saying? And I knew that something was happening. Something was going on that made me stay focused on me. And that's what I shared at the next meeting. You know, that I went there, my first time ever doing that. And I stayed focused on me. And that allowed me to go through that changes. And since then, I've got some experience from my sponsor who said, go to a meeting every Thursday with your woman, go to a hotel, go somewhere, eat dinner, and talk. Just that simple, you know? And I've been doing that for 4 weeks now. And we have come to a clear understanding of what we're doing, of what she wants and what I want in the relationship, you know? And I felt like that is so good for both of us, you know, because we are both understanding one another now. You know, before that it was just a whole bunch of I'm rumbling and shit. But right now we have a better understanding of one another, and I hope this continues on. You know, if nothing else, I'm gonna eat good. You know what I'm saying? Every Thursday, you know what I'm saying? You know, but it is so good that I'm able to do that, and I think it is wonderful that there's so much shit that's happened in my life that has shown me exactly how clever God is to be able to restore me to where I'm at today. You know, because God did this. I know I didn't do it. you know, and I'm expecting that He will continue to move toward me and build me up as long as I can, recover. You know, I thank you for recovering. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for this opportunity. You know, this has been great. I hope y'all got something clever out of what I said. You know what I'm saying? I know I don't talk that good, but there it is. My name is Gerald. I'm an addict.